All right, guys, everybody plug in. You can put this on your phone, in your journal. More importantly, I know a lot of you are going to hear me, but it's very important that you listen. Don't worry what's going on behind me. I want to go back and talk a little bit about the serve, and I'll talk in more detail about the mechanics, okay, like I did the other day. But I got to bring this up because I'm watching Sandra serve, okay? Here's her serve. She went up to the line. Watch. She bounced the ball 16 times. I've been around the block. I haven't seen that one very often, okay? Listen, if someone goes too fast and your dad or mom or someone tells you slow down, take more time, that's fine. But that's crazy. That's gonna make you more nervous, okay? You're gonna get too much pressure on yourself. Then on the second one, she only did it 5, okay? So what I'm saying is, whatever you decide to do, and I know everybody does it a little bit different. Djokovic might bounce it more, but you're not him. And on top of everything, she does double fault a little too much anyway. So there's no benefit to that. I would say 3, to 5 at the most, but you do the same Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, but to bounce the ball 16 times, that's crazy. Plus, if you had a time thing, you would get a warning. That's too much. So I never really talk about that. Okay, and I don't think I've ever brought it up ever. Okay, I might have said do the same thing, but you definitely don't want to do that. Okay, and I told her you're not allowed to bounce it at all, and she served just as good, if not better. I don't recommend it either, even though John pulls out of his pocket, he doesn't bounce it at all. I'm saying you should do the same routine, and then what happens? You become a machine. Okay. And hopefully she's in a routine, but it's the wrong routine. You don't want to do that. Make sure you're taking the right stuff. Now, taking the racket back, okay? Taking the racket back. There's not a wrong way or a right way. There could be a better way. Now, when someone tells you start higher or start lower or keep the racket on edge or have the racket open, that's all just personal interpretation. That's just all a stylistic thing that you guys are going to do. How you start doesn't really matter unless the person, and that's in the eye of the beholder, is using it as a corrective technique to try to help something else. Because everybody that I've seen that starts, men and women, I can show you they all start different. Everybody's different. Sanford's back in the day, Racket, Ronage, okay, some guys are here, so don't get caught up in that, okay? The ball toss has to be in the neighborhood. Remember, you heard me say this, 1 o'clock, 1:15, okay, 12:45, 1:30. The left arm, if you're a righty, should be at the net post. Those are pretty basic things. But what I want to talk about today is when you take it back, and I see this all the time, and it's very prominent, even on the pro tour, okay? When you go back, you got to get in this position. You almost have to turn your back to the net, okay? There has to be a coil on this side. Then what you're going to do, you're going to have more power and a coil coming back the other way. It's probably the number one problem that I see is this side of the body is very different, especially with a lot of the girls, especially in junior tennis, okay? Has nothing to do with athleticism. It has nothing to do with genetics. It's discipline. Just because you're getting your serve in, that doesn't mean it's right. That doesn't mean it's optimal, okay? Just look. You'll see most of the guys, almost every time, you'll see more of this, okay? And you'll see a lot of the girls, they're like this. Looks like I did the same thing, but I did a lot of things different here. I loaded the system on A. Remember what I said, if there's a twist or a rotation, there's gonna be another rotation coming back. But if you're like this, you could get 20 in a row in, but that doesn't mean it's optimal. That doesn't mean you're doing the serve correctly. Very important that you guys understand this. You got to get uncomfortable.
Before comfortable.
You got to listen to what I'm saying. How many of you guys want a better serve? Go out and practice what I'm saying. Look, put your back there, and you're going to miss hit it on the frame, and you'll miss two, and you're going, that doesn't work. I'm going back to the Canadian special or wherever, the California special. And they go down the yellow brick road for 8 years, and you master a habit that's almost impossible, not impossible, almost impossible to break, because you've trained the muscles a certain way, and it's just hard to reprogram your reflexes when you've done it a certain way. Get in this position. Remember what I said, shoulder, shoulder, elbow, okay? This has to be at this angle, okay? Your shoulders should be here, and this hip should be lower than the other hip. And there should be at least 70% of the weight on the back foot. Now, how many of you guys do pinpoint? Raise your hand. How many of you got? How many do platform? Okay, not a wrong way, right way. I can show you 20 that do it this way, that way. But the problem with the pinpoint, most girls in junior tennis do pinpoint because you want to go like this. See you later. Okay, you're going that way. And people are telling you, toss it more in the front. Go into the court. Land in the court. Hey, land in the court farther. No, that is wrong. Don't worry about that. Okay? If you do pinpoint, you come up, but the weight has to be back just for a millisecond. Bang, and then you land in the court. Remember what I told you. It's all how you time. No matter what you hear, what you read, you see on the internet, how much velocity, that means power, energy, how much velocity you can get from your back leg, throwing the hip